Yo, it's your boy AJ. I'm here with Chubbs. We about to break down the Hawks, Bulls. Man, Kobe White just put on a heater. Make sure you hit that like button, subscribe. You are now tuned in to Hoops World.
Hoops World.
Right here, the king is like, hey, guess what? I'm still the king.
I hit the streets just to get a bag. I pack, he got toe tagged. I punched the nigga for shorty. I'm John Woo with the 40. You not gang or the homie. Don't blow me, no, you don't know me. Gang shit, members only. You wasn't there, I was lonely. You wasn't there, I was lonely. Dog nights, blicky on me. I was just stacking my commas up. Head down, trying to run it up. These niggas be
Yeah, man. So, wow, man. What a game, man. Kobe White really put on a show tonight, man. Um, Picking up, man, this first half, the Bulls led 73, Hawks 67. DeRozan had 18.6 assists at the half. Kobe White has 17 points in the first half, Dosumo 12, and Vucevic 11. So balanced effort from the Bulls. Despite a big first quarter for the Bulls, they led just by 6 at the half. The Hawks scored 45 points in the second quarter, so they trailed and came back by as many as 18. So they made a run in in that end of the second quarter. But the Bulls started off hot, and DeRozan was shooting hot from three, which we don't usually see. He's a midi type of guy, and he was cooking. He was cooking early. I feel like he set the tone early for the Bulls, and it was just good to hear the arena kind of bump in. So he set the turn early in the first half, and then Kobe White was like in the second half, like, yeah, let me cook for you, DeRozan. But what did you see in that first half going into the in this game, bro?
Yeah. It felt like for the first half, the veteran leadership of DeMar DeRozan just showed throughout the first two quarters.
Yeah.
Defensively, offensively, he was pretty much the whole safety net and pretty much the reason they just out the gate just smoked the Hawks that first quarter and managed to withstand them cutting the lead a bit in the second.
Yeah.
And then that second half, it was really the young guys taking over. It was Kobe White. What's the green dude's fella's first name? He came in.
Yeah.
Ayo
Dosunmu. Yeah. Vucevic had a couple buckets here and there.
Yeah. It seemed like the first half, the vets came in, made sure the guys were settled in. And then that second half, it was all the young core just going crazy. Kobe White, my God.
Yeah, he was incredible tonight. Like,
40 of them things.
Let's talk about that real quick. Kobe, like, I knew, like I said, the whole year he had a great season, but it was like this kind of proved like this is that like I'm here phase, like this is showing you like I'm here. I'm not no young guy that just came across drafted a couple of years ago. I'm here finally. I'm that guy, and he just really cooked the Hawks. I know the Hawks defense is really bad, but it just was just a show, man. Like I said, the crossovers, you see the Euro, the spin moves, and then he was shooting like hot from three. So he played 43 minutes tonight. He shot 3 for 7 from three. 42 points, 9 rebounds, 6 assists, 2 steals. So he was everywhere tonight. Look at Vucevic, 24 points, 12 rebounds, 2 assists. He had a great game. And then DeRozan again, 22 points, and then he kind of cooled down towards the end of the stretch. But it was just too much for the Hawks, man. Like, what do you think the issue was for the Hawks? Why they got destroyed by the Bulls in the end?
I think the maturity of the Hawks showed in that first half.
Yeah.
Obviously, like I said before, the veteranship of the Bulls vets in that first half versus the lack of vets from the Hawks, it was like a clear night and day difference. And then going into the second half, the young guys felt relaxed. They came in swinging. The Hawks running around like chickens with their heads cut off. Trae Young, obviously trying to draw fouls, and that just added on to the deficit. I got to check, but there's a video of DeJounte Murray. Okay, Trae Young was at the top of the key, dribbling. Okay. DeJounte comes, sets the screen, gets the ball. But the time he got the ball, Trae Young already dribbled the time down to 3 seconds. So he really had nowhere to go, and they caused the shot clock violation. And DeJounte was visibly upset at Trae. It's like, yo, what the hell? We could have had a better game
And
plan.
that builds into the narrative that we see, like, oh, DeJounte and Trey can't play together. They kept focusing on Trey's hand. I think Trey just didn't have it tonight. I mean, his hand looked like it was bothering him at some possessions. I remember the air ball. He had 22 points and 10 assists tonight. I mean, he was facilitating. And he's 3 for 8 from 3, which is but him and DeJounte just didn't really like click well tonight. And
Yeah,
I feel like that kind of led to the demise of the Hawks.
they have. Sorry to interrupt, but they have a Sacramento Kings situation, and what the situation in Detroit, where they have two very gifted guards that can't coexist with each other or are too redundant to be next to each other, and they might have to train one or the other. So then this transition into the question: if you are the Hawks, and we'll get to the Bulls, I got a second question for the Bulls. If you're the Hawks, who do you trade?
That's a great question.
Because we'll get to the Bulls on that end, but just for the Hawks first, who do you trade? Trey or DeJounte?
It's so hard because, like, I really want our Hawks fans to comment on this. And we're probably going to get to our Hawks spaces after we drop this pod and listen to the fans. But you would think Trey Young is the foundation, but in the last couple games or so, and then when Trey went down, DeJounte kind of took control. Like, I kind of like seeing him kind of cook. Like, he had a stretch where he was hitting game winner after game winner after game winner, clutch situations. There was that point he had, I think, 40 points one game. He looked good with the Hawks surrounding him with the shooters, and he just kind of like played well. So it's like it made me forget about Trey Young in that little stretch. You know what I'm talking about?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so it's like I really want to see who the Hawks want to keep and who they want to get rid of. You know?
Yeah, it's a tough decision considering Trey is the guy you brought in and you've seen him grow. You even went to the Eastern Conference Finals with him.
Yeah.
But it's one of those things where with the touted class coming up in 2025, even 2024, there are some good draft classes coming. You have potential of Cooper Flag, Boozer Twins.
Yeah.
Hell,
there's a couple of guards.
A couple guards.
Yeah.
Even to this year, you have Rob Dillingham. You have a couple international guys that are kind of good.
Yeah,
I'd say. Yeah, what's the highest they can probably get is what, top 10? Definitely top 10. No?
Yeah,
top 10. And I think Trey Young can net you those picks guaranteed versus a DeJounte, because teams are in dire need of a point guard of Trey's caliber. So I feel like they should lean into that direction, because you make DeJounte Murray your I feel like, I don't want to say it because it's disrespectful, but poor man's SGA while you try to build your young core through the draft.
That's a great comparison. Yeah, poor man's SGA. Yeah.
He's the oldest, but he's still crafty and he can keep up with the thing.
Yeah,
and he can also be somewhat of a vet that the locker room can gather around. And
he's a little taller, lankier. He's a better defender than Trey, but it's just like I think what Trey has over him is that Trey can just that ability to score and light it up real quick. You know, that microwave heat that Trey has. I don't think DeJounte has that yet. DeJounte doesn't have that microwave scoring that Trey has yet. You know, and Trey's a better passer too.
Oh, of course, but that can still be solved either through the draft, or you can just get some veterans or get some nice point guards out there that can facilitate, take the pressure off DeJounte, and still build. Consider not a hard rebuild. It's a pretty easy rebuild over there.
Yeah, or retool it. Yeah, retool kind of thing. So Hawks fans, let us know about, who do you want to give up, Trey or DeJounte? Because we saw the Shams report earlier this season. It was like probably a couple weeks ago that the Hawks they're thinking about trading either DeJounte or Trey, and it really might be on the market this offseason. But going to the Bulls, man, the Bulls get a great win, and they're about to play Miami Heat, where we just got the news that Jimmy Butler might be gone indefinitely with an MCL injury to his knee. So the Bulls and the Heat, I believe they tied. I think they split the season series, or it was 2-1, very close with the Heat. So we'll see if the Bulls can. What's your opinion now, bro? Like, can the Bulls take over without Jimmy?
Yeah, no. Last video I said the Miami Heat, if Jimmy Butler and everybody's back healthy, they should take out any team that loses with ease.
Yeah.
Now without Jimmy,
It's a toss-up, man. You can't really call it now.
yeah,
It's like you could the
it's a
Heat
little
could
more even. It's a little more even.
the Heat are at home, and you know the Heat are really good at home, but
Mhm.
if Duncan and Tyler don't shoot well and things go wrong a little bit, and Kobe White's playing like this and DeMar's cooking like this, it could
Yeah.
be it could be a game where the Heat might be out, man.
Well, I'll say this: if the Heat bring some of the defense back from the first game, because despite the fact that they did lost, the 3-2 zone and the defense overall was just good. They just ran into a team that managed to match the intensity, and the better team won.
Yeah.
If they come with that zone and that good defense and that gritty style, I think they can. It really depends on Bam Adebayo or Tyler Hero really coming in and giving a performance.
Yeah.
That's really where it lies on to.
I'm giving a slight edge to the Heat just because they're at home. If it was the reverse, I think the Bulls might have packed them up, but I'm giving a slight advantage. Like I think the Heat are gonna take it, but I don't know. We'll see what's coming up, man. Again, appreciate you guys so much. Make sure you hit that like button, subscribe. We'll be back with more and more content. Follow us on Instagram and TikTok, Hoops World 0. We'll see. Great play-in game so far, and now we're getting to the end of the play-in, but we'll appreciate you guys. We'll be back all playoff long. Thank you. It's Hoops World.